call our budget and policy and procedure meeting to order for March 2nd. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You take roll, Mary?
Yep, Murray,
Here.
Getzinger,
Here.
Job, here, Swanky here, Patrick.
Yep. Public comments? Hearing none, we'll move into our work session, fiscal year 23-24 budget, fire, and general fund.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. I provided everybody an updated budget. There was a mistake. We were under the assumption that the millage started this year. It's actually 2024 for the increase. So we reworked the budget. I am comfortable with it. It's a very functioning budget. And I figured since that, we probably go over line by line because there were some amendments done with it. I did meet with Mrs. Murray, and we went over it. We got updated numbers from Tom, so the ALS income and the SAD is correct as it's printed on the paper. Any questions on the revenues? Those are pretty much consistent the way they were. Most of the changes were in the expenses. Expenses. First is the fire chief salary. That stayed the same. Assistant chief was just a hold spot for the dollar. Administrative wages stayed the same. Part-time wages, it was from the same original as the last budget, with the increase to $174,000, which is increasing the hourly wage from $15 to $17.50. Again, we're having a really hard time getting people, and still we're going to be one of the lowest paid part-time in the county. Paid on call, we reduced it to 20. We're just not getting the big paid on call response right now. We're under 10 right now with only a month to go. So even that's a pretty high number. Full-time wages, that's all contractually based. That is the same as the last time. It's $698,483. It's important to note on that, 3 of the 12 employees are covered under a grant through SAFER for the next 3 years. Overtime, again, that's consistent with requirements we have for the standbys, with contractual overtime, with training, and taking into consideration emergencies. I did increase it a little bit over last year because of the last year we were above. The COVID ones, those are hold spots. Full-time FOSA wages, those are calculations based right off of the wages. The full-time is, again, just to go over it, our employees work 56 hours a week on average. Because of FOSA laws, 3 hours of that each time has to be overtime. So 53 straight time and 3 hours is of the overtime to comply with the law. Again, that is based on just calculations. Holiday pay, that is a contractual obligation. Uniform allowance, again, part of that's a contractual obligation. It's up a little bit because not only do we have more employees, but after their first year of completion, they get a Class A uniform that has a cost to it, which reflected in that price. Line 29, which is the FICA. Again, that is a calculation. That is for non-union employees. Next is for the union employees. Again, that's just a simple calculation. Medicare for both. Any questions so far? I'm kind of going through this quick. Employee health insurance. Again, like last time we spoke, I took into consideration that anyone is single or married is either going to get married and have a kid. So I definitely went high on it. You can see this year we're trending to go under. In that number from this year, we also have more money coming in from SAFER grant, but I went like, I have firefighter A who's engaged. I assume next year he's going to be married and insuring too. I have a firefighter A that's married now. I'm just going to assume he's having a kid next year, just for being conservative on that.
I trained you very well, thank you.
Retirement for a chief, again, that's just a fixing from the contract. Retirement for MERS, again, that's based on the township's contribution based on the base wage and holiday pay. Office supplies. Based on how we were trending this year, I was okay with decreasing that number. Right now, we're at 59% of budget. We'll be in the 4s by the end of the year, but I thought reducing it down to 5,600. Fuel. Fuel went up to $18,000 last year, and we're gonna be probably pushing over that, so I increased it to 20 next year. Cause I'm sure fuel's gonna come way down in price.
Yeah.
Sorry, see if you're paying attention. Next is station supplies. Again, right now we're at 70% of budget. And I'm comfortable with that number. We're very cost savings in the way we buy things. We used to buy it from the supplier that delivered it. Now I don't have a problem going to Menards, or we get it from delivered to the place, and we really come down in the cost of supplies for the station. Again, 4,000, I was okay with that number. Vehicle supplies, as it shows, it's windshield solvent, wax, light bulbs, filters, things like that. I kept it the same. We're trending underneath. We're only at 43% of budget right now. When I throw that number out, we're at 92% of the year. So at 92% of the year, we're 43% of that. COVID expenses, that's just a holding point. Postage, I left it at 500. We don't use a lot of postage. Mary lets me know when we need it for bills, but occasionally we do ship things out, and then sometimes it's just one thing that could cost $100, $200 to ship out. So I did keep the number a little higher just in case. EMS expense, I kept it consistent. I don't see a big spike next year. We did buy carbon monoxide detectors for the jump bags, which were pretty expensive, but that's a one-time thing, and we're good for several years before I have to buy that. Keeping the number the same, I was comfortable. Firefighter equipment supplies, that's gonna be our hand tools. If we need to get accessories for the Jaws of Life, chainsaws, power tools, absorbent. It was at 13,000, I lowered to $10,000, I was comfortable with that number. Any questions? PPE, that is the fire gear. I know it shows we only spent $3,400 this year, but I'm still waiting on a bill for 2 sets of gear we got. So we will be getting a little closer to that number. And of course, gear has went up substantially since we've purchased that.
That's a
Approximately
shocker.
50%. So next year I did increase it to 15,000. I spoke with Mrs. Murray about that. We do have everybody in new gear, but the shelf life on a gear is 10 years. After 10 years, NFPA says, unless you can certify it, which is almost the cost of new stuff, you need to replace it. So what I'm trying to do is now to start phasing second sets of gear in, so we don't get hit all at once with, 8 sets of gear we have to buy all at once, to 12. So that's why I'm just gonna try to keep a system going in place. Contractual services, right now we're at 66% of the budget. We were at 28.5. I took it down to 25,000, and I think that's a pretty comfortable number. That includes Acumed, physical, legal fees, maintenance on the power cots. I was comfortable with lowering that number. The audit is at $10,000, and that is the cost every year. Or it goes up, but that's the cost. Rest and rehab. So if we have a significant event or a lot of, big training event or something like that, we are required from the Macomb County Chiefs Association to provide nourishment. So if we call in, big structure fire, a lot of companies are coming in, a lot of departments are coming in, we actually have an obligation to feed people. And that's what that line item would cover. Liability and workers' comp, we had it at 57,000. Right now, we're trending at 55% of the budget. I was okay with lowering it to 52. We already transferred $10,000 out of that last meeting. But I was okay with lowering a little bit, and I still think we're very comfortable with that amount. Questions? Dispatch radios and forms. So that's gonna be, any of our required, reports we have to do. We have to do an EMPERS report. There's a program we have to purchase for that. Any of the CAD stuff, the yearly fees. So each radio we have, every single year the county charges us a fee, and that's to maintain the 800 system. The other thing that does is that the $40,000 they have budget includes a portion of the Comtech fee for what we've got into it. So we got a grant for it. The board was kind enough to help us transition into that, and we paid about 9 months of it ahead, and this just covers those last couple months. Community outreach, that's open house or any other unique event we have. We had it at 2,000, I kept it at 2,000, right now we're trending at 70%. Fire and Life Safety Division, that would be the fire marshal. We did increase it, I reset it at 7,500. We had 1 individual, now we have 3 individuals certification, but most of the time when they're doing the job, they're kind of doing it together. So if there's equipment they need, it's not really 3 sets, it's 1 set. I was comfortable with that number. As we're trending right now, we're only at 1,900. Internet and phone, I kept it the same at 8,000. Right now we're at 65% of the budget. My guess is the cost is about, gonna be 69 at the end of the year. I'm comfortable with that number. Education and training, this is a contractual obligation, and also I included some money in there for, like right now, even though we're only sitting at 1,800, this month alone, I have several thousands of dollars in expense because I'm sending 3 different people to, training to get recertified. One's a paramedic, 2 are fire inspectors, an IC, so we're not gonna come close to what's budgeted, but I do wanna leave a little cushion in there. Utilities, I went from 14,000 and I increased it a little bit because right now we're trending higher. We're at 93%. Fire equipment repairs and inspections. So the air packs we wear every year by law, actually by my OSHA, we have to have those inspected. That would cover that expense. The Jaws of Life every year we get inspected. That would cover those expenses. Again, kept it the same. We're at about 45% of budget at 92% mark. Station grounds repairs and maintenance. I'm keeping again at 18,000. We have one door go down at the bay, and it's at the station. It's $3,000. We have a furnace go down, so it's the catastrophic things that likes to they have it there to cover that. And we do a lot of things ourselves, so we need to fix a door or buy a gallon of paint or something. That would all be covered under that. Any questions? After that is EMS repair and inspection. Any of our medical equipment that needs a yearly evaluation, inspection, repair, that would cover it. Also within that, the reason it went up considerably is we have an opportunity to get a 3-year deal on our cardiac monitors at about a 20% reduction. And so by prepaying for 3 years, it's a long-term savings. That is consistent. That shows in that increase in price of $23,150. Building remodeling and update. We're not sure what's going on, so I increased it a little bit to $10,000. And it could be adjusted as we go. Vehicle maintenance and inspection. This year we had a considerably increase. We had one of the vehicles was in a car accident. The insurance coverage was given to us, but we had to add that amount too. So why it shows 29,000, almost 10,000 of that was an insurance claim. So the money came in, but it came out of that account.
We also had some significant leaf springs replaced.
And we did have. I mean, the problem with fire trucks is they're very, very expensive, and they're very expensive to maintain. So, a vehicle with 10 years old needs $4,000 in leaf springs. Our engine 2's 3 years old, and we're putting money into it. They're just an expensive thing to maintain. So I did increase it next year. We're gonna be around the 18,000 mark this year when it's all said and done, but I increased to 23 just because things have not been going very smooth with repairs. We have a great fleet, but it's a very expensive fleet to maintain. Grant expenses, we left it at $1 for that one. The next one is for the ambulance. I talked with Mrs. Murray today, and we just added it at the worst case scenario because then the board can have discussion how they want to do it going forward. So we just put it based on the one option of the loan for the ambulance if they're going to do it that way. We spoke, we got the actual dollar amount for the actual loan and the interest breakout, and those numbers reflect that. It's a placehold for the board to make a decision as going forward.
You're saying to make a decision if we wanna just pay it down right away, or what do you mean?
There's options I'll pop in. I talked to 2 different banks, got rates for 5-year and 7-year from one bank and 7 and 10-year on another bank. Between what the interest rates that they're charging or the finance charges, what one bank is charging processing fees and closing costs and penalty for prepayment, early prepayment and stuff like that. Another one isn't. So I have all of that information. I think I put it in your board packet. If not, I will email. Did I put it in the board packet? Okay. So that's something that I want you guys to all take a look at. That's when we purchased the ambulance, we got it because it was a spec vehicle, and we gave them $32,000, which was a 10%, to hold that as ours. So the balance is about $280,000 and some change. So I got financing information on financing the whole $280,000. So that's what those numbers are based on. We can, if it, a board decision, we can just leave it at $280,000 and pay it down on annual payments like like is outlined. We can put some more money down, lower the principal and interest. That's a board decision, but you guys all have all the information to go over this week.
And just to further, this gets approved, the budget gets approved before the actual items talked about. So we discussed, figured the best thing is to put it down, and then it's on paper in the budget, and from there it can be tweaked.
Yeah, this is worst case scenario if we don't put anything else down. And, you know, that's what it would cost for the first year, so.
So that's the two ambulance loans. Next goes to the engine bank loan. Engine two still has, I believe, approximately $180,000 that's owed on it. We've paid down, I think, $150,000 above schedule with extra payments. The $47,108 is the principal, and the interest breakout is $6,800. And then lastly is the capital outlay, $47,608.58. Any questions?
Nice job.
Good.
Thanks,
Good
Chief.
job, Chief, thank you. Very nice.
So Tom gave us the
Yep.
tax revenues, 274,083.
The tax collection income, Sarah, what did, I was waiting for your amount.
Of what we took in taxes? I didn't get that to you yet.
No, your tax collection fee, what we charged the schools. We had 79.40, 79.
Yeah, and I didn't pull that, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I'll get that.
okay.
Okay, we budgeted about $2,000 in re-inspections. Building permits, 46,000, electrical permits, 16,000, mechanical permits, 20,000, plumbing permits, 9,000. Federal grants we left open for $1
We'll put that 22,000, that will cover the senior center.
for the, okay,
That's the generator.
The federal grants, 22,000?
Yes,
that's for the senior center generator.
Okay.
Local community share is 8,000. Liquor state shared, 1,300. Sales revenue sharing, 396,000. Smart municipal, 2,400. Smart community, 10,540. Property lease farming, $1,434. Refunds, FOIA, other income, we just left it for $1. Ordinance fines and costs, 2,500. Sale of property, we left open for $1. Zoning Board of Appeals, 1,280. Zoning splits and land divisions, 3,500. Xerox and zoning books, we left it open for $1. State grant revenue, left it open for $1. Election reimbursement, 5,000. Senior event tickets, 10,000. Interest and dividend revenue, 7,000. Special meetings and review plans, 15,000. Ceremony, cemetery plots, we left for $1. And bonds and insurance recoveries, we left open for $1, for total estimated revenues of $831,044. Appropriations, senior smart municipal, 6,000. Senior Smart Community, 9,000. Pal Smart Community, 4,770. ASEP Smart Community, 1,000.
No, okay, yeah.
What?
No, go ahead.
Office improvements, 4,000. Master plan, 6,250. Capital outlay, we left it open for $1. Do you wanna put the AEDs in there?
sure.
Okay, cause
Yep.
the chief is saying the AEDs are $3,000 each, and he's
We need
talking
2 of
one
them?
here and one at the senior center.
Okay, so 6,000,
6,000?
perfect.
That can go on this one and not on the fire? The revenue account?
It's for our buildings, yeah.
Building.
It's for public building.
And I'm sorry, which, office improvement, is that where you're putting that?
No, under 54.
Under capital outlay.
Line
Okay.
54,
So how much
Oh,
was
there we go.
that?
6,000.
Okay,
Perfect.
thanks.
Computer miscellaneous, 1,500. Sewer and engineering permits, 1,000. Engineering alternate, 1,000. Building fund, 485,111.26. Land purchase, $1. For total appropriations of 919,953.36.
Okay, that number's
What's the
wrong.
6,000?
Because we increased it 6,000.
Well, no, but
Well, it
if
doesn't
you
look
add
like
up
it
all
totals,
those
right?
numbers, excluding the 6,000 we just added, it's only $519,633.26.
Interesting, huh?
Hmm.
Cause this was a printout from
Yeah,
BSNA,
it's
right?
BSNA, yep, I'm circling that. Thanks, Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
And you said it was what?
519,633.26.
So it should be 525, 633.
Right, now with the extra 6,000, yeah.
633.26.
It's weird.
Did you come up with that also, or? Because I added it a few
Sounds right.
times, and it's like, I
Yeah.
don't know where the 900 came from. I'm like, oh my gosh, what?
Mhm.
Makes you
So-
want to check all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I gotta start by that, yeah, I'll call them tomorrow.
Governing body. Trustee wages, 8,523.70. Life insurance governmental, 1,650. Employees FICA, 500. Medicare, 120. Office supplies government, 5,000. Postage government, 2,500. Audit, 9,200. Liabilities and workman's comp insurance, 12,000. Internet phone and website, 6,000. MTA membership and mileage, 7,700. Education and training, 1,500. Sirens and maintenance, 17,160. Legal notices and publications, 3,000. Street lighting, 3,500. IT support service contract, 17,600. Hall repair items and cleaning, 5,000. Copier lease, 1,200. Property expense and taxes, we left for $1. Miscellaneous expenses, 500. Flags, banners, and signs, 600. Refunds, 200. And service charges, 100. And it's 103, but I'm thinking we ought to add these up.
Yeah,
I think we should just take the time, all of us, go through and add everything and do it like that, because I didn't add everything either.
That was
Is
the
it-
only
is it-
one that I added because it just didn't look right with 485,000 and
Let's
then
just take 5 minutes.
900,000.
900,000,
do
yeah.
it.
Alright, I'll pick
All right,
a different one.
we'll add them all up.
The elections one is accurate.
I'm doing revenue. So if that one's off, we're screwed.
Might ju- Assessing's accurate.
Yeah, assessing one's okay. Yeah, assessing one's okay too, Jim?
Yeah.
I'll just skip a couple and go down next.
Yeah, I'm working on
Okay.
clerk.
I'll go to, Treasurer's is correct.
Clerks is correct.
Except for I'm gonna change the one line item to 20,000 for the wages for Dawn.
It's already
Yeah,
changed
for-
on this one, I think it's already changed on this one.
Is it?
Yours has changed?
Yeah.
I was
Mine
gonna say, the one I
wasn't. No,
got,
I-
there was a couple of changes that didn't get changed.
I think I print out a new one.
Comments and probably all good with the one.
Seem to be.
There, are you doing the treasurer? Did you
Yeah,
say?
the treasurer's was okay. And I did,
Building and ground?
I added mine up minus the 3,000, it's 70,365.85.
No,
Oh, that doesn't,
I
that doesn't
checked it
work out.
right for
Did it? Okay.
68,365.85.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do I have an old sheet? Is that why mine is?
Maybe,
Mine's old
Yeah.
also, Jim.
The assessors is good.
what are we-
Ordinance looks good.
Board of Review's fine.
What's that, you just did board review?
I did Board of
Okay.
Review,
And I
that's fine.
did ordinance,
You did ordinance, that's good?
yeah.
Okay, cemetery's fine. Let's see, what was, buildings and grounds.
I just did that one.
You did that one, that one's fine, Jim?
That's good.
Alright,
I'm working on
I'll take zoning board of
inspections.
appeals.
okay, I'll do planning.
Ordinance is good. Is somebody doing inspection?
I just did inspections, that's good.
Mary's doing planning.
Yeah,
and
planning's
Mary's doing
fine.
Planning,
Yeah, ZBA's good.
He is good,
Roads is
okay.
good.
Roads is good. Spalding
engineers, that's
Decker.
easy enough.
I'll do transfer site.
I'll take that one. I'll do transfer site.
I got that right.
You got
now.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, that one's good.
Alright, I'll take the park.
Okay, and I'll take the senior center.
You got was the revenue good?
How it be, you're gonna get that one done.
You're handling that one?
Yeah.
Park's good. Did someone else add up that one that I had
That's good.
found the error in and confirm that?
No.
No,
Oh,
it's-
cause I know I
can
did
do
it like
that.
3 or 4 times,
yeah, the
I'll
other
do
one.
that right now.
I got the senior center.
but I'd be comfortable, I'd be quite alright with somebody checking my addition
I wonder
on
if
that
it-
one.
This is not going.
What was the total? Revised total? For appropriations? Oh, it's not there.
Senior center's good.
You got 532, 630, 326 for the appropriations, that one's right, is that right?
What's that?
6,000? Wait, which one are
Wait,
you doing?
I'm
Yeah,
going back
go
to appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah, I
alright.
got 519, 633, 26 plus That's 6,000.
So
Okay.
It's 525,
632,
633.
632.26.
That's what I got.
I got
Okay.
525, 633, because of that dollar under the land purchase, hold.
I had
or-
s- Yeah, I had 632.
Oh, no, I didn't take out the dollar for
26.
capital outlay, so yeah,
right.
525, 632.
632.26, okay.
And did somebody do governing body by chance? It's the only one, I think. We haven't checked.
Tap your Ds.
I can run it.
I thought John already did that.
John, did you do the governing body?
No,
I'll do it right now.
Mhm.
The revenue checked out, Monica? Figures would be that one, I wonder why, I wonder what's going on there.
Who did inspections?
I think I did.
You did?
I'll have to look at it.
Okay.
$2 that I think I missed.
I gotta check by everything
Just
except for
$1.
that one. Okay,
Xerox.
Gotcha.
alright.
Can you send me this then? I don't remember.
What's that? Yeah,
What was I just doing? Government body's good.
it is, okay. So everything's checked out, I think we're good to go.
that's way off.
Figures would be just the one, but at least we checked.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The bottom line of expenses. Final numbers. Final numbers,
Well, yeah,
so.
It's like $400,000 off, that's
Yeah.
really weird.
Oh, definitely have to call them.
Gotta do this every time.
Okay, so where are we at now?
Um,
We just finished governing body, correct? So-
everybody, right, yes.
Okay.
Again, wage of supervisor, I was changing mine to 27,316.09.
Yeah, I had that same.
You didn't
note.
give me your letter though,
Yeah, I'll give you your letter. I'll
but
give you
I
your
need, I should've had it before,
letter.
cause I already did the wage resolution.
Okay. I'll give you my letter.
Well, I have something that I wanna say about the deputy supervisor. I know last time I said if you paid for it, great, but the chaos that's been happening, I am not comfortable at all voting for that line item at all. And, seriously, I cannot in good conscience vote to continue that line item. Ms. Spalding may be of assistance to the supervisor, but after 14 years in office, you ought to have learned your role enough and to have a better knowledge of how to operate the office. She has stirred the pot and created dissension among staff and the public. The letter that was read by the clerk at the last board meeting stating that she creates a toxic work environment at the township hall, that is not good, and this township cannot afford another lawsuit.
there's no
After the
toxic work
After the
environment.
last budget workshop, I stopped and it was explained to me that Robin created more chaos that very day with the deputy clerk. After the meeting, I went to get gasoline and a woman asked me if the supervisor had ever brought her request to the full board with regards to becoming a Purple Heart community. I said no, and I've been to nearly every meeting for years. She stated that she had taken her request to Patrick Mold and that you had delegated it to your deputy to handle and nothing happened. For over a year, nothing happened. The woman had done all of the legwork,
Isn't it,
obtained the resolution, and the signs had already been
isn't it a
created.
fact the township
All the
doesn't
board
donate to
had to do,
nonprofits, correct?
all the board had to do was vote on the request. Spalding and Patrick sued the clerk and are now wanting to hire additional personnel because the deputy clerk is a bit worried to make a mistake and end up being sued as well. Quite frankly, if another board member or staff were to quit, have a nervous breakdown or a heart attack due to the constant harassment and bullying, that will be on this board. In the past, Spalding has had questionable conduct with the full support of the supervisor. I had mentioned at board level that I wanted an iPad because I was
not putting my township emails onto my phone. I need my phone for too many other things in my life. I find it weird and bizarre that you two work together at Patrick Mold and you're her boss, and yet she didn't know that you had stated at a public meeting that I could have access to that back computer. I had to leave work early, come in, I got with Lucas from the IT, he got me onto that back computer, only to find out after that last
Can we
meeting
put on a shared?
that I
meeting?
could not use that one, that I had to come on this one. So I had to leave work early again, another day, come in here and get hooked up to that one and contact Lucas, and he helped me get on that one, so that I can print my emails.
Mary, you said she needed a computer,
Yeah.
and I said, then
Yeah.
you just use it.
It got moved over to there, but at first we were gonna put Monica over there, and Michelle said it's not appropriate, because it's a public use computer, we don't want over, so she's all set up over here.
Right.
It's working, but it did take her time to get all that set up.
Well, you were gonna
So-
buy another computer, I said she could just go on as a
Well,
second
she is
user
using
here.
that now,
Right.
And now I
Yeah.
am on that
now
one.
you're on that one.
But it's like,
Why
it's
is that a
like the
problem?
games, but, no, John, because it is the constant games. I got an email from Robin back in December. She didn't say who it was. I apologize, it's Robin Spalding. I didn't know if this was still a good phone number for you. It was in my phone. I'm trying to send you trustee Job at Armada Township. Keeps coming back. From my township email, is there another contact that can be used in the meantime? It's not complicated or a personal question. I respect all board members representing the taxpayer. No one knows how to contact you via email, which is to your benefit. Emails keep getting kicked back. Please let me know if there is another option. And I texted her back, when I get my keys, I'll get my emails. You had told me that you had the key from Mr. Drumby,
We gave it
and
to
that
you.
I could, after all of this, after I had sent this back to Robin, you guys worked together at Patrick Mold, you supposedly work together up here, and you guys aren't even communicating. And it's creating conflict and chaos. So
Right.
I am an absolute no on the deputy supervisor. But thank you.
Okay,
And Monica's talking about the Purple Heart community, we don't contribute anything to that.
right.
The signs were already made for the village, but they were made to Armada Township. So what we have to do is, thank you, Monica, for getting that from Susan too. It's on the next agenda, but we have to have them present, and they will give a speech. So at that time in April, we can adopt a resolution or proclamation for Armada Township to be a Purple Heart Township.
But you also have to call Purple Heart and sign up for it as a township.
I have a contact to, it's a sergeant, I think.
Mhm.
Monica gave us all the contact phone
All
number.
the
We have to call
paperwork
them
is in there.
so
All the
that they
pa-
could
all
be
the
present at the
paperwork.
meeting.
She
Yeah.
gave me everything. She said, just please
Yeah.
take it to the board.
I've got the signs.
Here you go.
Yeah. So, that's all we have to do. Notify them.
As long
Like
as
you
it's
said, she
not
did all the legwork. I
Mhm.
appreciate that.
It's like $7,000, $30,000.
No, it's not. It doesn't cost us anything. For
No.
Purple Heart
All we
Community,
do, they have the signs and everything.
Yeah.
She's got everything. She had everything. She had the resolutions all made up. It was ready to go. It just needed to come to this board, the last board, and approve it. And then you say, yes, we will do this. It's signs that you put them in designated areas.
Yeah,
in
we
your
got them coming into the
township.
village.
And, no, you
In
can
the
put them
township.
anywhere. She would like
Within
them
the-
like where they're gonna get a high
volume.
volume, so like maybe up at Alma Road and Ridge Road,
Right.
maybe at 32 and Plank, wherever, they can go anywhere in the township. But she's got the 3 signs ready to go, and nobody's done anything. And it's been over a year.
Well, it sounds like we'll discuss that next week.
Yeah, all the information's in your packet.
Again, I adjusted my wage to $27,316.09.
That's under the assumption of the that's if, in order to approve the 5,000.
Mhm.
Okay, or I wanna say contingent on approving the 5,000.
And then in your packet, I already did the resolution with the 29,000 because I didn't get the letter, so I'm gonna have to redo that resolution for you.
Deputy supervisor wage, or budget 5,000, employees FICA 2,388, Medicare 559, health insurance 4,200, membership and mileage 625, education and training 625. Wages elections 12,000, office supplies elections 1,800, voting materials, equipment maintenance, 4,650. Postage elections, 4,200. Membership and mileage, 700. Education and training, 1,000. Legal notices and publications, 1,600. Meals, 750. For a total of 26,700. Land divisions, wages assessing, 43,200. Land divisions, 1,500. Office supplies, assessor, 50. Postage assessing, 2,400. Computer support and maintenance, 11,500. Apex software, support fee, 300. Membership and mileage, 250. Education and training, 800. For a total of 60,000 in our assessing department. Miscellaneous matters attorney, 22,500. Wages clerk, 34,647.85.
And the wages for the deputy, put that at 20,000. That's like 3 days.
So I was gonna ask, so that 20,000 is basically for her anticipated wage times,
3 days.
and just out of curiosity, does she work 3 days now, or has she
She's been working 2 days.
Okay.
And what's the anticipated wage?
20,000.
No, I
With
mean.
1918, what it is right now.
That's right, okay.
So 1918 times the 52 weeks times the 21 hours. Of course, you will have vacation, because that would be 20,944.56. So there's gonna be, probably
There's
some weeks
vacation?
there's just gonna have to do, like, just come in only 2 days.
Oh, others have vacation.
Dawn's very good with her time. She manages to get a lot done.
Yes, she does.
So deputy wages, 20,000.
Right.
Correct.
Employee FICA, 3,835, that'll adjust.
Yep.
Medicare, 897, that'll adjust. Health insurance, 4,200. Computer support and maintenance, 3,586. Membership and mileage, 600. Education and training, 600. Total 71,365.85.
Minus
Actually,
3,000.
Minus the,
What?
71,000, it's gonna be 71,000.
It'll be 68.
85.
Oh, 68,000.
Yeah.
obviously it'll adjust slightly
Yeah.
too, because of the,
Well, yeah,
Yep.
that'll just, yeah.
Okay.
Wages board of review, 1,100. Employers FICA, 6820. Medicare, 1595. Education and training, 900. Legal notices and publishing, 315. And meals, 100. Wages treasurer, deputy, wages treasurer, 32,191.52. Deputy treasurer wages, 13,000. Employers FICA, 3,187. Employers Medicare, 717. Health insurance, 4,200. Postage and treasurer, 5,000. Computer support and maintenance, 1,258. Membership and mileage, 100. Education and training, 200. For 59,853.52.
Which was less than $100 more than last year.
Building, grounds, 5,000. FICA, 124. Medicare, 30. Snow and grass services, 5,500. Contractual services, we just left open for $1. Utilities, 6,500 for a total of 17,155. Township cemetery, 3,500. Ordinance enforcement, 15,000. For code official, liquor inspections, 1,300. Employers FICA, 1,011. Medicare, 237. Membership and mileage, 750. Telephone code official, 1,000. for total ordinance, enforcement for $19,298. Wages inspections, $35,450. Wages, electrical wages, $9,000. Mechanical wages, $11,000. Plumbing wages, $6,000. Secretary's wages, $31,096. Vacation secretary, $2,500. Employee FICA, $5,900. Health insurance, $1,400.
No, $1. Medicare was $1,400.
Oh, Medicare, yep, $1,400. Health insurance, $1. Retirement, $1. Office supplies for inspections, $500. Postage building, $200. Computer support and maintenance, $11,500. Telephone building, $1,600. Membership and mileage, $1,400. Refunds, $3,000 for a total of $120,548. Planning Commission wages planning, $6,228. Secretary per diem, $900. Employees FICA, $442. Medicare, $104. Postage planning, $600. Planner, site plan reviews, $10,000. Community planner, $9,600. PDR committee, $750. Education and training, $1,000. Printing, publishing, planning, $12,000. Land division splits, $1,000. For a total of $42,624. Zoning Board of Appeals, ZBA wages, $1,060. Secretary wages, $300. FICA, $85. Medicare, $20. ZBA, $100. For postage, printing and publishing, $200. For total Zoning Board of Appeals, $1,765. Maintenance chloride, $20,000. This is roads, Tower Road reconstruction. We should leave that open for $1.
Do we have any anticipated expenses?
We haven't used everything yet, but we can,
I mean, is the
Yeah,
project
I
done?
we
put
could
a
leave,
dollar
we
in
could put
there.
$1 in there in case they,
Just leave the line open.
Especially if
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
expecting something.
Drain maintenance, $1.
One never knows.
Limestone, $30,000.
they're using a lot of it.
For a total of $50,000, $1.
Now it's $2.
Yeah. Spalding Decker and Associates, $15,000.
I thought at the last, my note said at the last meeting we would, said to raise that to 20,000.
For Spalding,
Yeah,
we raised it 5.
We did?
so that is
Or-
raised 5?
Oh, you know what, it
I'm
was
just going off
for,
my
it was for the
notes.
senior center,
For the parking lot?
yeah.
Is yours raised on yours, cause
Mine says 15,000.
It was
But my
15.
notes
Yeah.
from the last one said it should be 20, and I'm just bringing that up. Whatever it should, you think it is, that's fine. But
Let's see.
Yep.
I would
I
put
got
this
20 on my notes from the
Yeah.
last one too. That-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rings a bell. My notes are in my office. Been a busy week.
Mhm.
Wages. Wages transfer site, 1,510. FICA, 100. Medicare, 24. Transfer site monthly expense, 69,065. Total transfer site, or maintenance at the transfer site, 1,500, for a total of 72,199. Township Park wages, 7,200. FICA, 447. Medicare, 105. Macomb Orchard Trail, 7,000. Park improvements, 193.
But we didn't include the.
That was
I-
supposed to go to,
my notes also
That's,
said
we didn't,
it should be 298, 312 is what
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
notes said. Is that what that estimate says, Mary?
right,
yep, 298,
I pulled
312.
that out.
membership and mileage, 200. Utilities park, 500. Maintenance at the park, 12,000. Let's do a new total.
Is that mileage for when you drive to Lansing for that water sample? Yeah.
Actually, we might wanna increase that to 250. I mean, gas, we raised it a little bit, but. I read it.
We got the rates,
I think so.
it didn't go up 25%, so I think you'll be
You
okay.
okay?
Be 325,764. Wages senior center, 18,000. FICA, 1,116. Medicare, 261. Office supplies, 1,500. Bingo crafts, event tickets, 5,000. Postage seniors, 1,150. Internet phone cable, 2,700. Utility seniors, 3,200. Maintenance seniors, 5,500. Event tickets, 10,000, for a total of 48,427.
Actually, the seniors for the utilities, I'd like to raise that another $200. I just got I'm trying to figure out the last of the bills, so. 'cause they went up
Utilities?
3,400.
Yeah, it looks like we're already at 3,200
Yeah.
now, so 3,400.
Yes.
That would make it 48,627. Total appropriations of 1,920,143.67.
Plus the
With the
changes.
change.
Plus changes.
Yeah, that'll,
There's a couple changes there.
Just a few.
While we're talking about budget, now would be a time to bring up, I would assume, I'm gonna guess. We had talked about scanning all of the information here, cloud storage, management containment.
We
Between
budgeted in
Chris and
there, right, for that?
No, there is no budget, cause we just got prices yesterday, and one came in today. So I
thought we had
I thought
two
we had
line
11.
items that had a bunch of money in it for that.
We have
well, we
11.
put 10,000 in, building. We put,
wait, yeah, but so,
Okay.
but what I'm gonna do is, I've got quotes here from I asked Chris to come because she's our guru.
And this is just for budgeting purposes.
Right.
We're not done, we're still looking.
Here's
to
one
get
more.
estimates From other companies, but we basically got a high
these
estimate
different?
and a low,
Yeah, I
low
think so.
estimate right now.
Okay, and this one just came in today, so it is hot off the press.
Oh, Mary's.
So the booklet is the first quote we got. This one that's coming now is the second one that just came in like 4:30, 5 o'clock today. So just basically for informational purposes, to kind of give you,
I sent, did you call have them call any of the ones that I sent?
Yes, that,
Okay.
one of these is one that
Okay.
was on your list, and it was also on your list, so.
so, yeah, so Chris is gonna kind of go through everything with you, cause she understands it way more than I do.
Okay. So, we had a demo from the company MCCI last week, and he sent us the estimate yesterday. Ameriscan, we have not had a demo. He's willing to come here and give us one, or do a Zoom, but he's in Shelby Township, so he could actually come here and do a demo. And I still wanna call a couple of other companies, because I've only gotten these two. The MCCI estimate, there's two estimates here. One is, or did you even
I
provide
gave them
the-
both,
Okay.
the scanning and the estimate.
Okay, so the scanning estimate, now, this is a company that's based in Florida. They do have a scanning center in Illinois, but all of our documents would have to be boxed up in a way that we could, if we needed a document, we could tell them which box to go to. And then they would come pick them up and take them. and
Scan it
do all of the work needed.
and bring everything back.
Ameriscan, we also will have to give the documents to them to take to their facility, but they're local, so if we needed to drive down there and get something, we could. The major differences in these two estimates, if you go to the last page of, the scanning agreement for MCCI and the last page of the Ameriscan,
And I did it in booklet form, so your last page is really page 16, I think. Or no,
okay.
I don't know what it is.
So
Page 9 of 9, 8, 9.
MCCIs, they
100,000.
break out the document preparation from the actual scanning. On the Ameriscan quote, the document preparation is included. They use the same numbers of documents, and these are estimates based on what I could figure out. We have upstairs in cabinets all over the place. And also the shipping. The shipping on the MCCI is significantly higher. But this is for 380,000 documents between half sheet size to 11 by 17, plus 27,820 large documents. And that would include like the plat
Blueprints.
books, it would include your
The
plans,
blueprints.
your plot plans, all of that kind of stuff. So, as you can see, there's a significant difference in those prices.
So if I'm reading this right, the scanning one-time services, 18,500, is that? I don't know what the laser fiche is.
Oh, you're looking at the wrong one.
Oh,
You need to look
need
at,
to look
sorry,
at-
there's, the scanning estimate in the book
yeah, that was
is
$100,000.
almost $100,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And then this Ameriscan last page is the other
48,000.
one, so this is.
So this is just for the scanning. This is not any document management.
and, forgive me, but anything 11 by 17 and smaller there's so many that it's impractical to use our equipment? Is that why it's all?
Yeah,
15?
because I mean, if you're gonna be doing this, they're estimating 4 to 6 months to get this done.
That's what they
People
do.
working
Yeah.
full-time
Time on
with
it.
the right equipment.
It would take Chris and I probably 10 to 12 years.
So that, yeah, I get you.
Have you looked
Uh,
at the stuff upstairs?
The one, not recently, the one company I called, that was
You
in
won't go
Madison
home.
Heights, I'm pretty sure was low for us, when I say us,
might
meaning
have to
Richmond.
Okay,
Right.
and that's why I'm
Mustard.
saying.
That was,
I
that was just for
called
plan sheets.
Ameriscan because you had recommended calling them, and so had Kevin.
I didn't actually, I just forwarded them off, we didn't actually call them
Right.
yet when I sent
Right.
Well, and again, we got the first estimate and trying to get everything done for,
them. Sure.
Budget.
budgets and taxes
And everything else, so
everything
it's
else.
been.
I literally talked to the guy at Ameriscan,
At-
yesterday
At
at
5 to 4.
3:30.
Yeah, it was,
And
um,
I just gave him the numbers.
so this is a
So
quick
So you're
off
basically
the
saying
cuff.
if we wanna do everything that's here, we need to budget 50,000 and hopefully, maybe you'll find something less.
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
I will
But
say
again,
that,
that's just for the scanning.
yeah, that doesn't
Okay.
include cloud
Management system.
storage or anything.
We,
We have to put it in a record management
I
system.
thought it was all going to BSNA, if that's not the case.
No.
No.
BSNA can't take it all. But, so the MCCI stuff could work with or no, it wasn't
What's-
even this one, it was the other one that,
No,
said
it
that they
was
could work with BSNA.
Laserfiche.
What's
And-
the scanning it for?
and they never gave us an estimate.
No, they didn't.
And I contacted them after
Yeah, we sat in, yeah.
a couple of
Um,
times, and they never
The one
sent it
thing
back.
with MCCI Laserfiche, it's like one company, Laserfiche is like a subsidiary that, whatever, the one for, they are on the national, this like is a national quote because they are part of like a consortium like what we have too, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
this could suffice as
so you're
3
saying if
quotes,
it's
but we're not
scanned,
taking it that
It
way,
can't
we're
just
still
be
working.
It could be dumped
on the
into your,
network and then it's just somehow in folders, I don't know exactly
it
what
could be
your
dumped
question
into
is.
folders, yeah. absolutely.
I was thinking it was being scanned, essentially attached to parcels, you know, but that's not really the case.
That's not the case, but it, both quotes talk about, OCR scanning, okay? So, it's gonna be,
So what is that,
Yeah,
OCR?
OCR scanning is, after it's in a PDF format, it goes through a process where every word
Like
is
digitized.
digitized. So if you wanted to search on
Oh, for searching.
anything that had Jim Getzinger's name in it, you type in Jim Getzinger and every document in the system will come up. But that only happens if you've got it in a document management system. Just putting it in folders on the server, it's not gonna do that.
Sure, I get
And the
that.
server can only handle
And the
so
and
much.
our
We'd
current
have to have,
server
like,
can
a
only,
Special server and
so
backup
we
or
need it,
something.
we'll need additional cloud storage in order to put this in. And so the quote that you were looking at for the one-time services and stuff, that's part of your packet there, that's for Laserfish, which is a Lamborghini,
Yeah.
okay? We don't need a
It
Lamborghini.
was a very cool system, but when I got the
Yeah.
price, I'm like, I don't know
Very,
if we
very
need
cool
that cool
system,
of a
but-
system.
As administrations change, nobody will use it. It'll just stop getting used. Ameriscan has two options available, one of which they are a reseller of, a software called DocuWare. And he said he needs more information to give me those quotes. Like I said, I talked to him for 20 minutes yesterday. But he said it runs about 20,000 a year. But he's got another option,
Just to store it.
storage and retrieval.
And access, right.
Right, okay, but he's got another one that they actually designed themselves, and it's called Documents on Demand. And he did say that a lot of our neighboring communities are using this, and he didn't wanna give me a number, but it was going to be significantly less than $20,000 a year. So I've gotta talk to him next week to give him what he needs to be able to give us that quote. But again, I also wanna contact a couple of other companies. So,
And I just wanted you guys to have all of this now, cause it is hot off the press, something to keep in the back of your mind, and, you know, as we get more information, we will get it to everybody, cause it's
But-
something that we do need in some
for
form.
budgets,
Right.
I think we've only got 4 departments that have, or 3 departments,
Three. That have-
assessing, planning and building,
That are,
that have budgeted 10,000. If we're gonna do this,
Budget more.
we probably need to budget it, cause I'm thinking like minutes.
Yeah.
And public notices and that kind of stuff from your department. I actually included, you've got 50 books up there.
Okay, yeah,
I included that number in what's here.
So,
okay.
I mean,
So-
and I guess this might be for a later discussion when this comes to the board, but I think electronic is great, but I'm wondering is it important to scan a lot of that stuff? What's the real, do you go up there?
Planning and building and assessing have stuff that are considered permanent documents.
And-
Minutes are
Minutes.
permanent
Permanent
documents.
documents,
They
so-
can never be destroyed.
If something happens
So
to
by
the building,
scanning
they're
them,
gone.
we will wanna preserve it if something happens, but two, that
Right.
means you potentially, if you wanted to, could dispose of them once?
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yes. That's the benefit, is
Gotcha.
once they're scanned and they're in a cloud that has backup, you don't need the hard copies anymore.
and then we lose the fire hazard upstairs.
Then, yeah,
Yeah.
Rooms full of them.
So,
they're all full.
again,
Yeah.
this was, tonight, this was just for budgeting purposes, so you've got an idea of what's out there. You know, and the OCR scanning, like I said, once it's done and it's in a document management system, you can scan, you wanna put water and sewer and pull up every document ever
Discussing it.
published on water and sewer, it's gonna come up. So, okay?
Thanks, Chris.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Chris.
Nice.
Yeah, right off the bat, the 99,000 seemed like,
It was an amazing system, but
Yeah.
it was, we were like, wow, that's awesome, then,
wait a
when would we ever use this? Or would we ever use it, or whatever, and, I mean, we're still working on getting more quotes. It was a very cool system, but it also had a very cool price that we really weren't all that happy with.
Well,
But,
even the scanning was significantly higher,
yeah,
you know, and for basically the same thing. Now, I will say that, the first quote had the advantage of having pictures of what,
everything that we have upstairs.
You know, just pictures of the boxes.
Yeah,
And I did a very detailed, you know, we've got 37 boxes of 100 packets of, approximately 100 packets of files, and 80% of those have 20 records that were this, and
yeah,
10
it was
pieces
very
of paper that
detailed,
were
and
that,
the
and the second guy was just going off the raw numbers, so.
no pictures,
No
no,
pictures, no nothing, it
Ah,
was just going
yeah.
by.
I think it's just pages to him, so I think it
Right.
should
Yeah,
be
this is
compatible.
another file cabinet, the pages.
So the first
Yeah.
guy did the work,
oh,
for
we
the
took
second guy did
pictures,
the
opened up
calculations.
boxes, took
Yeah.
pictures of that, opened up a book, and, you know,
Yeah.
kinda did a rough estimate of how many pages double-sided are in
That's
this
like,
book,
okay,
Oh,
you
sure,
know,
sure.
There's
Yeah,
so,
approximately 200 pages in an inch
okay.
of paper. So any binders that we had, I looked at the size of the binder and I said, okay,
4 inch.
I've got 5 inch binders and
Right.
10 4-inch binders and, no, 25 3-inch binders, and that's how I got some of the numbers.
Gotcha.
But the first guy had the advantage of having all of that in an email. The second guy was just going by the bottom line numbers, so.
yeah, so there definitely is a lot more work to do, but because of budgeting, we
So
wanted to
as
get
a-
you this information to start absorbing.
So as a board in this budget, are we interested in increasing those figures because think that that's, something we might consider later, or do we leave it where it's
well, that's
at?
what I was just looking at, our computer support and maintenance is where we put them.
Yeah,
In assessing, we went from, 1,500 basically, 1,324 to 11,500. You know, we really don't have all of the figures in from them, but you would have to,
change those 3 to 15,000 apiece to get
or
it higher?
20,000
That's,
apiece.
I
I'd
would,
put
I would
20.
go 20. We can always, all right, if we're, 20,000 apiece, that's $60,000. If it comes in at 40, it's a bonus.
Right.
We're not going over budget.
Well, certainly we'll be discussing the value and the need and looking at other options,
At least
Right.
putting it in the budget
But at
doesn't mean
least
we're-
it's in there, and if we decide not to do anything, then,
That's okay too.
yeah, but at least it's in there, so you're covered.
So what, there was, let's see, under assessing,
So for under assessing, we would put
20,000.
21,000,
22,
I would just,
22,000?
yeah.
guess
All
I
right,
would
let's
put
just round it up.
20,000
All right,
even myself, but
22,000.
whatever.
And then,
We do the same for the building.
and
Oh, sorry, guys.
inspections, 20,000.
Inspections, 20,000.
And that was under computer support maintenance?
Right. And then the other one.
Well, we already had,
Adding- we
again,
had
we already had
11,500 in
1,500 there, make that 22,000 too, you wanna keep the budget
22,000,
in there
yes.
for original?
Yep.
Cause they have a regular cost for their BSNA software annually, that's
Yep.
in there.
Yeah, that's almost $2,000.
Okay, and where was the third one?
And
Planning.
So for building inspections, it's gonna be 22,000?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
And planning is under printing and publishing because there's not a computer support and maintenance there.
So that'll go up
so
to
that would make it
22.
22.
Yep.
Yeah, it's better to have it in there. be
Yeah, I
prepared.
would,
But
Right.
should there be something in the clerks?
I would
yeah,
put it in there too.
yeah, because,
All right.
so
So
add
you're gonna take that to 20,000 as well for the clerk?
the clerk, add 20 or 10? It's at,
Computer support and maintenance.
it's at,
That
35 right
35.86,
now.
yeah.
So if we take it to 15,000, that's the 10,000 plus
That's fine.
Or I think-
change, or
Yeah, take
or you just wanna make it
Well,
13,586?
between the three now, that's a lot of money, are we?
Well, we're looking at 50 grand on the one, and that's not the whole package.
Right,
I thought, oh, you mean because of the,
Because it's the document.
whatever it's
Right.
called.
Mm-hmm,
So
alright.
just add another 20,000 to the computer support and maintenance, which would make it 23,586.
okay. If it doesn't get used, if
It
you,
won't
you
get
choose
used.
not to do any of it, or a portion of it, or whatever, at least it's budgeted, and we're not gonna,
At least we're
be
planning,
panicking.
right.
which is good.
Perfect.
Okay.
Is everything in those boxes upstairs, is it like mandatory? Is
I
everything
haven't
so
counted
far?
the mandatory stuff, like, I
Okay,
didn't count the
okay.
payroll stuff,
Okay.
Those we
the,
have to keep for 7 years.
the fire stuff. A lot of the assessing stuff is not mandatory, but there are
There are things that
There
are.
are things that are mandatory, so it's basically building, planning, and half of assessing. But
And-
everything
and
for building and
Minutes and
planning.
all that.
books.
Building
Minutes
is
have to be a
is the
permanent.
life of the building plus 7 years,
7 years.
so
Yeah.
basically permanent. And planning, everything is permanent,
Permanent.
according to Michigan's retention laws. So,
You know, if we come up with 200,000 documents instead of 380, it's a bonus.
yeah,
Right.
the prices will go down if
The more.
we overestimate it, which it's very possible I did. You know, I wanted to go high rather than low.
Right.
So,
I wouldn't have known how many pieces of paper were an inch, so you're doing pretty good right there.
Oh, it's been fun up
Oh,
there.
Well, good, I'm glad you brought that up. It's important for us to at least put it in
Yeah,
place.
just look at it, think about it, whatever, but you've got some very basic numbers, we're gonna try and get more, but at least we have a start on something.
Alrighty.
Moving on to the policy manual?
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't we say not to print new ones until we had it all
Yeah, I-
confirmed it was done?
I don't know. I did say, should we print one? I don't know how we were gonna talk about it without printing something. And I apologize for not sending it out till Monday, it just, time got away from me. The only thing specific I wanted to bring up, which I've mentioned in the email, just to have you look at the wording for, section 4.4, F, because I had kind of taken some liberty there based on what, I think what the intention was, but we didn't specifically discuss it. For personal days, prior to us starting it, of course, classifications have changed. It's really just that the senior director is allowed, 3 sick days a year and allowed 3 bereavement days, and then the deputies are allowed 3 bereavement days. Then obviously, the classification changed for Chris's position, so she was included. And we decided the senior director was considered a full-time employee, so I changed that language to say full-time employees are allowed 3 sick days. And in addition, all hourly employees, with the intention of meaning that's, includes the deputies as an hourly employee, are allowed 3 bereavement days. And if that's okay with you guys, I just wanted to make sure that I specifically brought that up because we didn't talk about it. Everything else was,
Yep.
if you look at the red line copy, the the blue marks on the red line copy are the changes from our last meeting, so. And that's just the way Microsoft Word tracks changes, that's what works for me, so. I know it can be hard to read. We kind of talked at length on how to, the submittal dates, and that just references the first Wednesday of the month for deadlines and the first Thursday of the month as far as at 4 p.m. So are we just kind of reviewing, maybe looking at the red line, see where the changes are, and if you want to compare it to the clean copy to see how it's final worded, see if you have any issues, I guess we'll just work through it. I did move the approval of minutes to within that consent agenda heading. I accidentally copied something in here. Under,
That's good.
as I say, under section 4.2, I just noticed, I think I accidentally copied that at-will employee language right at the beginning that looks like it wasn't there before.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about that last time, though.
I know that didn't need to
well,
be
there
in there 14 times.
it was in a different oh, maybe, I think it was, maybe I pasted it to the wrong section.
4.2, right at the beginning,
Is it,
it's an at-will employer,
but should it be under,
and then it doesn't need to
4.3?
be anywhere else.
Anywhere else, right?
I think it was supposed to be under section 4.3.
Well, yeah, and it doesn't need to be under record retention.
You're right.
Yeah, it should be
taking
under
care of.
4.3.
Under 4.3, yeah,
Right.
not 4.2.
Yeah.
Somehow I missed that, so that just gets moved. 'Cause it's not under 4.3, so I pasted it in the wrong spot.
Okay. But thanks for only having it in there once.
There weren't many other changes after that. So just that one correction as far as, are there any other concerns that,
I didn't see any.
No, looks good to me.
what would be the intention, maybe, that this will go,
April?
that's right, okay. So I'll update it with the April meeting date,
Okay,
send it to you.
perfect.
Send
Yep.
it to you in Word. You want me to accept the red line changes now and send you that Word? I guess I'll keep an original, but I'll send it to you clean so it's
That's
not
fine, yes.
muddied up.
That will work.
Okay, thank you.
Did
Thanks,
you
Jim.
address reimbursement on here? Cause I want that in here.
We added there is a sentence in there about like 2 weeks or something.
Okay,
Is that what
Right,
you're
2 weeks,
referring
yeah.
to?
that's
Yep.
Trying to request.
Expenditure authorization.
Just trying to find, I don't see it.
Didn't either. Oh, reimbursement rates. Oh, that's for travel. 2 weeks, yeah, it is on there, it's on page 40 of 46.
You found what you're looking for?
Yeah.
On where?
Yeah, on page 40, at the very top, expense reimbursement request forms. It must be submitted to the clerk's office within 2 weeks of the date of expense.
Oh, yeah.
How about that? Yep.
Page 40 of the red line copy.
Will work.
Okay.
Well,
Thank you for doing
anything
that.
else?
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jim.
No problem.
Quite a bit of lines,
What's that?
quite a bit of lines,
Red lines?
and blue.
Oh, yeah. No, it was a good idea to go through it. There's always improvements that can be made, so.
Most definitely.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I would like to make the public aware, of course, that most everybody knows Marv Wollock passed away. His services are this
Sunday.
Sunday from 2 to 9, and his funeral is on Monday at 10. So everybody knows, and the public knows, that the village president was a longtime community leader. So that's when the viewing is between, I think the rosary's at 8 o'clock on
Sunday.
Sunday, yeah. So the public is aware. Our condolences to the Wollock family for their loss. Marv fought hard for a long time.
You do.